How many deadlifts can you amass in 2 minutes? It's our final Rogue Record Breakers event of the weekend here at the 2021 Rogue Invitational. Sean Woodland and Chase Ingram. 2 minutes on the clock, 2:25 on the bar for the women, 3:15 for the men. How much work can you do in 2 minutes?
Sean, if you're talking to me, the answer is 0. I about threw up on my shoes when I saw that this is a Rogue Record Breaker event. I'm a competitive person by nature, but you will not catch me dead out here in this event. And it's quite amazing to see different, I would say, facets of fitness displayed this weekend. We had the strongman event with the elephant bar deadlift, lifting north of 900 pounds. We had the mule event last night with the CrossFitters. And now with the record breakers, oh, hello, Carolyne Prevost. I guess you decided to jump in on this one, and I can see why, because you did so well last night. But this 2 minutes of max deadlifts at 315 for the men, 225 for the women is going to be just a pure display of intensity to a degree that most people don't like going to very often.
Now, Carolyne Prevost, you saw her take the field. She is in the individual competition. She still has an event to go, but she's so good at this that she said, why not? Give me a red shirt. I'm going to go out there and try to make some money.
And she is fully capable of taking this entire event. Now, the women's record is 62 total reps. The men is 61, which is pretty fascinating how close the two are, between 315 for the men and 225 for the women. And we were saying earlier, it's so different to be strong enough to lift north of 1,000 pounds like the strongmen are here. It's one to be able to move the bar fast in a short time frame, but 2 minutes at this weight is still a totally different skill set. So we see on display here at the Rogue Invitationals so many different facets of fitness. I find it absolutely fascinating.
Some of the competitors just trying to get in some warm-up lifts here. But as you said, Chase, the current record for the women, 62 reps. The men's is 61.
And this is, pacing is not really possible when you're talking about north of 60 reps. That's 1 rep every 2 seconds for 2 straight minutes at 315 and 225. It's not supposed to be possible.
Carolyne Prevost is the current record holder, so she's just trying to break what she did earlier.
This is an event, a Rogue Record Breaker Challenge that got displayed earlier this year. If you guys have been following Rogue on social media, especially on Instagram, I feel like every month or two they start sending out a little challenge to athletes around the world, and this being one of them. So very recently is when Carolyne Prevost set this record.
Austin Malliello, no shock there.
Hey, yes.
Did that in 2020.
And the last time we saw this was really the last time we had an in-person road record breaker competition.
Austin Malliello is built for deadlifting.
There are certain athletes that are built for the sport of which they're in. Michael Phelps in swimming. You see LeBron James in basketball. But, Austin Malliello was born to deadlift. Long arms, short torso, strong back.
40 seconds before the start. Make that a minute and a half before the start. Sweet. Evolving information here.
And the approach being in this is that you can usually do a rep a second depending on your speed, but it's saying that out loud at these weights sounds a bit absurd. And it is, the fact that you can get that many reps in 2 minutes at this weight. Again, 225 for the women, 315 for the men. And the pacing strategy really is, it's almost like being on a salt bike for 2 minutes, is that you want to get a big chunk early while the adrenaline is high, while you're fresh, and you can move that bar as quickly as you can. But you want to make sure is that you take a break, as there are going to be time to have breaks before you get, say, to that red line. So you're going to push yourself right to the edge, take that break, hopefully that power bar comes up a little bit, then you go back to the bar. You don't want to go to failure too soon, just like you would see on strict gymnastics in a sense. Is like deadlifts can go away as well, especially at these weights.
Carolyne Prevost in event 5 of the individual competition was the mule, featured deadlifts at 225 pounds, and she made that barbell look like a tinker toy. Finished second in that event. Prevost is in the row closest to the camera, second from right. She is off to a pretty frantic pace, along with some of the other athletes. Just a quick break there for the woman in the middle. Right back on the bar. Prevost continuing to work.
You know she's going to get a big set because she did 21 unbroken to start the mule last night. Trying to keep pace with her since she is our current record holder. I think she's already passed 30. Takes her first break.
Prevost, a very accomplished athlete all around. She has 11 national titles in 4 different sports, won 2 national championships in women's hockey at the University of Wisconsin.
Sean, I think if you told me to touch my toes and stand up, I wouldn't be able to move that
No way.
fast.
Almost a minute gone here. So halfway through this Record Breakers event. 62 reps, the record for the women at 225, and 61 the record for men at 315.
Prevost just passed 50 reps. 62 is her record, and she still has over 30 seconds left.
Prevost continuing to work as she's trying
57.
to beat her old record.
59. That's 60. 61.
15 seconds left. Just to tie. And now we have a new record. 64 and counting. 66. Oh, that was close. They might give her credit for it, but it looks like she got at least 66. And if they count that last one, looks like 67. So a new record from Carolyne Prevost at 225. We'll have to wait to see if any of the men were able to beat Austin Malialo's record of 61.
So 66 unofficially, maybe 67. By the way, she's in the middle of a 3-day competition where she's already done 6 events and had a 20-minute long chipper this morning.
Gotta go, coming.
I'd be really interested to see what she would do just fresh in a one-off to see how many reps she could get. But breaks her record by 4. Absolutely incredible performance for Prevost. I'm curious to see how she'll do in the the final event. But you know, back might be a little toasty coming up to those snatches that we'll see a little bit later.
Well, she's going to earn herself a nice check, $5,000 for that effort. And that's assuming that none of the other women on the floor were able to beat her. The final 6 reps for Prevost. This is what ultimately helped her break the record. And you could tell that she was just about out of gas, but able to gut through these.
I mean, how fast the bar gets to her knees, but watch the legs just shaking back and forth. There's really not much left in the posterior. It's like the only thing keeping her together might be that belt. But a new record.
Well, Carolyne Prevost has to go back and now get ready for the final individual event, but she is $5,000 richer and has a big smile on her face as a result. That's it for the Rogue Record Breakers. We're going to take a quick break. Rogue Iron Game coming up here in a little bit. Also, the final individual event, bracket style. You're not going to want to miss it at the 2021 Rogue Invitational.